The end was my favourite part. Not because it ended, a little bit because it ended and then I didn't have to read it.
Hello! I just want to say that I'm not, like, rant reviews are really popular on YouTube right now, but, like, I filmed this over a year ago and I just want to post it because, I keep thinking about it, so. I'm obviously not overly negative on my channel. I just want to post this video because I look really pretty in it. Not in this part. Look, it's a puppy. Why do I look like a Cabbage Patch Kid? Okay, bye.
Hello! I'm Michaela and today I'm going to talk to you about Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. This is the second and last book in the Passengers duology series. I don't know, this is the last one. First of all, I would like to say that I loved Passenger, the first book. I loved this so much. I thought it was beautiful, beautifully written. The characters in it were so lovely. Like, I would marry Nicholas. This book came along. So first of all, I will just say that Wayfarer, for me, was nowhere near as good as Passenger. Like, it was maybe half as good. It started out alright. Like, I thought, oh, maybe you're just finding your feet. I think one of the characters was written in a really different way. They weren't out of character, but they became quite one-dimensional, and that made me really sad. So I think what's happened with this is that Alex had a bunch of ideas and she was like, oh no, there's only one book left. Didn't know which one to choose, and so she just did bits of all of them. Overall, for this book, I liked some of the character development in this. I liked Etta's storyline, and there are a few characters that I came to love. There were 3 new characters that I definitely loved. I gave this 3 stars on Goodreads, although it was like 2.7. I was definitely disappointed with it, but it wasn't the worst book I've ever read in my life, so that's good. And I think that's all that I can say that's not spoilery. So now I will move on to the spoiler section. If you haven't read this, read it, come back. If you haven't read this, why are you watching this video? This book was a huge disappointment to me. I'd been waiting so long for it. We start off, Etta has been orphaned from her time, and she's spit out into the next, what is it, like, common year or something, where the stuff is, like, the same. I don't know. There's a lot of time travel-y stuff that's hard to explain. She meets her dad, who was part of the Thorns, which is, like, the rebel group. And Henry, oh my god, I love Henry a lot. We left Nicholas and Sophia in Damascus with Rose. I did like it. I didn't hate it. I had a lot of problems with it. First of all, Nicholas, it was just like, Etta, what's Sophia doing? Etta. And it wasn't just like, let's find Etta, we need to find Etta. It was, oh, I miss her so much. Look, okay, so try and find her instead of sitting still. I felt like we had more Nicholas chapters than we had Etta chapters, and they were longer, and they were so boring. Unless Sophia was talking, I was bored out of my brain because it was just Nicholas moping in a lot of unnecessary metaphors. It just annoyed me. It's like, okay, we get it. You like metaphors, but the more you use them, the less powerful they are. Oh, there were so many, and it's like, we get it. You like words. There was so much unnecessary descriptions and paragraphs in this book. I think Nicholas repeated probably like 20 times that he used to be a pirate and he worked on the ships, and that now he's so weak and he doesn't understand it. But it's like, you were literally given a task to do, and if you don't complete it, you will die. And you will get weaker over the course of the time of not doing the task. He just seems so stupid at times, which in the first book he was not. He was so proactive and smart. I've never been in love, I've never had a boyfriend, so maybe people really do get stupid when they're in love and hurting, but seriously, Nicholas, shut up. He was pretty useless in this book. In Passenger, we were doing a lot of proactive stuff. We were running around getting things done and getting to other places. And in this book, I felt like it was just a lot of Nicholas sitting around moping about Etta. I think if Etta and Nicholas had have been reunited at least halfway through the book, it would have been way better. The other thing this book did was the action would start to pick up. It would start to get interesting, and then about 2 paragraphs later it would just be like, it took me a month and 3 days. It took me 6 days to read Passenger. I'm just really sad. Rose, complete dick. I wanted her to die, and she almost died. Li Min, why the hell did you save her? Everyone hates her. The prologue and the epilogues, like, what was the point? I get, like, maybe the ancient one stuff, but it didn't tie into the rest of the story. It didn't make me care about Rose. And at the end, after Etta and Nick were reunited in New York City in, what was it, like 2018, and she was like, there's someone I need to see first. And I flicked page and it was like, London, 1939. I literally cried. I shed a tear because I thought we were gonna go see Alice. Nope. We went and saw Child Rose, who I give 0 craps about. I think maybe it was Alex's way of trying to stop a war, that big family war from breaking out. I don't really remember why the war happened, but I assume Rose was just real angry about her repressed emotions, so Etta went to talk to her about them to stop her from being so angry, which would fuck up everyone's lives. We've all seen Back to the Future. You can't change stuff, you will disappear. Time travel works weirdly in this world. It's different to other time travel things that I've known. So Rose kills Ironwood, she stabs him in the back, and then she's like, I'm satisfied, and then Goldman comes up and is like, and I literally said out loud, yikes! I said yikes out loud because I was so shocked that that happened. She didn't die. I thought she was going to die, and then she's at Etta's concert, and I was like, damn it, why? She's such a knob. I love Sophia. Everything she said was fucking hilarious. When they first meet Li Min, Li Min's like, call me Li Min, and Sophia goes, I'll call you Jackass if it suits me. I lost it. I thought it was hilarious. I started tabbing the book, and then I stopped tabbing it. Let's see how many pages in. 100 pages in. I got bored. I hate Rose. She was so neglectful towards Etta, and I cried because I love my mum. Everyone deserves a good mum. So when Etta found Henry and he was so good to her, I cried a lot. I thought it was beautiful. I was really scared that Henry was going to turn out to be bad, but then he's not. It's so nice. But he just wasn't in the book. Julian. I love Julian. Love me some Julian. And he's clearly learned his lessons about racism. He was so funny. I want there to be like some children's show where he's the main character. I think it would be funny. And I definitely imagined all of these characters to have British accents because I feel it suits the tone of the books more. Whoops. And I always imagined Rose with red hair, even though she's supposed to look just like Etta. But the shadows were an unnecessary evil. And this book is pretty long. The font is so much smaller than in Passenger, and the spacing's smaller as well. It's almost, I would say, like twice as long as Passenger, just because of that, because they're like the same length but there's so many more words in it. But I never felt an imminent, crushing deadline for these characters to have. They were like, oh, the astrolabe, but then it was suddenly like, oh, the shadows are gonna get us, even though the shadows weren't fleshed out. It was just like, here they are, this is the shadows, oh, they're gonna go away now, we're not going to talk about them for another 150 pages when they kill everyone. I just didn't see the point. I think if there was a third book, it would have been fine. They would have had time to introduce them in a better way, or they could have been introduced in the first novel. I really loved Etta's chapters, and the fact that we were only with Etta probably like a third of the book, and the rest was Nicholas and Sophia, and it was just Nicholas moping and talking in metaphors that were super unnecessary. In the first book we probably had more Etta chapters because everything is happening to Etta. Maybe she thought, okay, now it's Nicholas's book, but she just didn't know what to do with him, so he was just sad that he wasn't with Etta. I'm just trying to understand what was going on. I think that if Alex made this a trilogy, it would have been so much better, and we would have had more time of Etta and Nicholas together, which gave us the romance, which is part of why the first book is so good. And in this one it's just moping, but like Etta's not moping. She's like, I need to find Nicholas because I love him, but she's not broken without him, which is good. But Nicholas is somehow broken without Etta, and it's not right. Etta was sort of like out of character. She was so angry for the first half of the book. I understand why you're angry, because I have thought about it for a few chapters and have just come to the conclusion that you're clearly not happy being ripped out of your timeline. I don't know, but it was not explicitly said why. It was not, Etta decided she was angry about this stuff and now she's furious with everyone. She was just cut to furious. It's just like, oh, where am I? And then angry. I was super happy that she was angry at Rose. I really liked the ending, however I wish there was Sophia and Julian in the ending. I have no idea what happened to Julian. All we know about Sophia is that she went to look for Li Min. That's it. That's it. And obviously Etta went back and saw Alice a bunch of times. That was so lovely. I thought it was good that she made friends in her own time. Nicholas was talking about Julian, Li Min, himself, Etta and Sophia all being a family, and we never got to see that. It was sad. I want them to be a family because I love them all. And obviously Henry and Rose probably weren't a couple again because Henry deserves better than that. Henry reminds me of Max Medina from Gilmore Girls, and he's my favourite guy from Gilmore Girls. I think I like him more than I like Jess, which is a lot. He deserves better than Rose. Just saying. So the way I felt during this, and I think why it was so slow, is we focused so much on Nick's feelings about Etta rather than the massively pressing issue of the astrolabe and Iron getting the astrolabe or possibly having it and just wrecking everything. So I didn't feel like that was a pressing issue. And then we had the shadows, and The shadows, it was sort of like, are they going to kill us? Like, what's happening? And you see glimpses of them, and obviously we know that they're not easy to kill. We just sort of forget about them. We drop the issue, and so that it's not a pressing issue either. There were a lot of times where I would have to reread paragraphs several times because I just wasn't absorbing the information because they were too wordy. I would read like 2.5 pages and I'd get there and I'd have to go back and read them again, which was so frustrating, and it made the reading process longer. The last chapter before the epilogue, I thought it was so good. I loved it. It was a happy ending. It wasn't quite satisfying because we don't know what happened with Sophia and Lee Min and Julian, but it was nice. It was really nice, and I almost feel like she wrote that before she wrote everything else. It's just, the rest of the book just frustrated me. Now, with the Ancient One and Belladonna being those children of the astrolabe, I thought that was cool, but also what happened with the Belladonna. I loved the stuff with the Belladonna. Like, it was cool, it was magical, which we all know I love. It was so nice. It was what I wanted. That Nick and Etta could be together and live together, not that we got nearly enough of them together. Their first reunion was so... it was weird. They were like kissing and trying to talk between the kissing, and it wasn't satisfying. And so when they were parted again, it wasn't as devastating as I feel like it should have been. After Nick discovers he has sort of become the astrolabe, which I thought was really cool. I thought it was an interesting way of doing things, that all the etchings and stuff on his hand now create portals. I also wonder about like if they would draw the astrolabe stuff onto a wall, like onto another object, would that make it astrolabe-y? So Nick, when he's back on the ship with Hall and Chase and everything's nice and oceany, he's just thinking so much, oh, it's so selfless of me to just start creating portals again and to be with Etta. But it's not, and that really annoyed me. It was like, you would be selfish to just stay there. All these other people are stranded away from their loved ones. I'm wondering if she's going to write more books connected to this world, just because there was so much left up in the air and so much left unexplained, like all of the shadow stuff. I want to know more about this golden child. He was funny. I really thought Ironwood and the Ironwood family were going to be more of a proactive threat. We only see them chase Nick once, and obviously they're not chasing Etta because she's dead, which was smart of Henry. I love Henry, he's a smart kid. I don't know if I have any more to say on the book. I just think it could have been thought out a lot more than it was. Discuss with me in the comments, please. So that concludes that. I hope this wasn't a waste of your time hearing me be sad about this. And thank you for watching. I will see you next time.